what time it is? It's time for Soupy. What? And I'm coming to you right now with our top 5 sits for week 12. Do not set those lineups until you hear these top 5 starts. Oh my goodness, I got some humdingers. What? And our first start, number 1, numero uno for week 12. You gotta get this guy in your lineup. Brian Robinson Jr. That's right. Brian Robinson Jr. this week goes against Dallas, ranked 29th in giving up points in the league. There are only 3 other teams that give up more points to running backs than Dallas in 2024. 151 yards per game they are giving up. That is ranked 31st. There's only one other team giving up more yardage and 3 more teams giving up more fantasy points. 33 points per game in the last 5 games. 33 points? What? Joe Mixon gashed Dallas for 153 yards and 3 TDs. Bijan Robinson gashed Dallas defense for 146 yards. Garando, a nobody out of San Francisco, gashed him for 102 and a TD. Gibbs and Monty combo gashed Dallas for 171 and 2 TDs. Derrick Henry by himself, 174 yards and 2 TDs. Kamara went for 180 and 4 TDs. Ford, who is Jerome Ford? 70 yards and a touchdown. Listen, Dallas is giving it up. Washington will be up big, and the running the ball in the second half will be something that they do. Less Eckler because of the game script. Usually Eckler gets a lot more points when Washington is down. Washington will not be down. They will be up. If you want a solid 20 plus in your week 12 future, start B. Robinson. Don't forget the junior. Yeah. Brian Robinson Jr. is going to get you 20 touches, 118 yards, a touchdown, good for 19.8 fantasy points, and that's his floor. You heard that from the soup. And our number 2 player that you have got to get in your lineups in week 12, this guy is a must start. Ladd McConkey, that's right. Ladd McConkey going against Baltimore this week. Ranked last in the NFL in yards per game. They've given up 284 yards per game to opposing offenses. Cedric Tillman went off for 100 yards and 2 TDs against Baltimore. Jamar Chase in 2 games. First game, 193 yards and 2 touchdowns. The second game he played them, 264 yards and 3 TDs. Devontae Adams, when he was not with the Jets, put up 110 in a TD with Minshew throwing him the ball. Rashee Rice, 103 yards. McLaurin put up 53 yards and 2 tutties on their head. George Pickens just last week threw up 90 yards. Listen, McConkey last week versus Chicago saw his highest target share at 9 targets. He has become Herbert's go-to wide receiver 1. McConkey has 350 yards receiving in the last 4 games. Herbert will have to pass the ball to stay up with Lamar's offense. Fading the white boy receiver is a fad. You want to win week 12? You better start Ladd. You heard it from the soup. Ladd McConkey gets you 7 receptions, 113 yards, a touchdown, 20.8 fantasy points. He finishes in the top 15 receivers. Ladd McConkey, get him in your lineups. Lock it, love it. Our number 3 player that you have got to get in your lineups in week 12. Drum roll. Boom, boom. Shake the room. Justin Herbert, that's right, going right along with Lad McConkey versus Baltimore, ranked 31st. Baltimore is against the quarterback and giving up points. There's only one team in the NFL that gives it up more than Baltimore. Giving up the most passing yards as well. They are number 1. Overall, the worst defense, the worst secondary in the league in giving up yards. Justin Herbert will have to pass to keep up with B. Moore's offense. Justin Herbert has thrown for 280 yards plus in 3 of the last 4 games. In the last 4 games, he is averaging 2 touchdowns per game. This is a recipe for a huge premier game on Monday Night Football. If you got Herbert, get him in your lineups. Justin Herbert goes off for 334 yards, 3 TDs, good for 25.5 fantasy points. He will finish in the top 8 quarterbacks in Week 12. Man, you heard it from the soup. Lock it, love it. Yeah! And our next player on our top 5 start list in Week 12, Tyron Tracy. Yeah. Tyron Tracy versus Tampa Bay has been a revelation for the Giants. That's the only thing they got going good over there in New York right now, especially with the benching of Danny Dimes. They are coming off a bye week right now, so those legs are fresh. He's averaging 18 touches per game in the last 6 games. New QB on deck. That means they're going to have to lean on the running back a little bit more to get that quarterback DeVito comfortable in that New York offense. Now I'm going to give you all the running back stats for those RBs that went against Tampa Bay's defense. McCaffrey, 107 yards. Kareem Hunt put up 117 in a TD. Bijan Robinson, 106 in a TD. Derrick Henry, 182 yards and a TD. Alvin Kamara, 64 yards and a TD. Saquon Barkley put up 116 yards. Monty and Gibbs combo, 176 in a TD. Brian Robinson Jr., 89 yards in a TD. Listen, in Week 12, start TNT. Boom. Tyron Tracy in Week 12, 19 touches, 121 yards, and a tutty. 19.9 fantasy points. You better get them in your lineups. Lock it. Love it. You heard it from the soup. And our last start that you must get in your lineups. And I know what y'all gonna say, man. This guy is a hit or miss. But this week, he gonna be a hit. Marvin Harrison Jr. versus Seattle. Marvin Harrison Jr. Let me throw out some stats for y'all. Right now, Seattle is giving up 210 yards through the air, okay? They are ranked 23rd right now, giving up fantasy points to receivers. Even though they are giving up 210 yards average through the air per game. However, they are giving up lots of touchdowns to receivers. Seattle, number 2 in passing yards. This means Kyler Murray is going to have to throw the ball more this game to keep pace with that Seattle offense. With a boost in passing targets, Harrison will find pay dirt in Week 12. 7 receptions, 107 yards, and a touchdown. He's going to be good for 20.2 fantasy points. Get him in your lineups. Lock it. Love it. Those are our top 5 starts for Week 12. Come check us out on our next episode for our top 5 sits. It's your boy Hot Soup. Find me on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. Like and subscribe. It's your boy Soupy, and I'm out.